Well, salutations, folks. In spite of the summer rain, you've decided to join us here, I don't know why, for our Houston Public Poetry monthly reading series, always to showcase poetry's daily range and relevance. Oh, I finally said it right after all these months, in partnership with the Houston Public Library. I decided yesterday to get a haircut just for you because our photographer, Brandon Park, said the other day that I look rugged. And I thought that was a very nice and lovely way of saying grimy. And I kid you not, I felt like I went to the hair salon and I felt like I was in a Marie Brown poem, Ruby Dhir, because it was noisy. There was random individuals coming in and out asking if we wanted to buy random assortments of snacks. And I had rollers in my hair because this is a perm. And as I was, getting my hair pulled in either side, I was answering public poetry emails on with my glasses like this, answering emails. I kid you not. But I'm so glad that you're here. We're still celebrating 15 years of public poetry. Just yesterday, we have some members of the board here, so I have to be on my best behavior. Not really. I can't be anything but me. And I'm also excited towards the end, or right before open mic, to announce some of the collaborations and programs we have this year. Before we do that, we have, of course, our wonderful featured readers who will have a chance to showcase their works, 6 minutes each, after which we'll open up for audience members to read one of their poems during open mic, and then our featured readers will return for another set. We ask that you let the audience know if the content of the poem might not be family friendly, in cooperation with the public library's policies, and to be mindful of your time. With that, I would like to invite our first featured reader, Caelan Roche. Colin is a globe-trotting writer currently based in Houston, Texas. They hold a Bachelor's of English from the University of Houston and currently the open mic host at Houston Writing Central. Their work can be found in Houston Writes Volume 1 and on a stage, like public poetry, near you. May I present Caelan Roche. So glad you're here. Now, before you read, because I like how last month when we had our collaboration at Brazos, which by the way is available online, you invited me up and mentioned that it is very rare that hosts get to read their works, and so I decided, you know what, I have to have Colin read his work, and Caelan read his works. And before you do, may I ask you to say a few words about Houston Writing Central and the work that you do before you present your work.
Yes, of course. What an intro. Hang on, I'm gonna move this up a little bit. What an intro. Hi everyone, I'm Caelan, and I am the open mic host at Houston Writing Central, formerly known as Write Space. That may ring a bell to some of you in the audience today. We host a reading series each month over at Brazos Bookstore on the, I believe, third Friday of each month. And it is a space that I'm so grateful to hold and welcomes voices like public poetry to come out and share their work with us. On top of that, we're slowly moving into programming opportunities. We partnered with, I'm going to butcher this, is it HPAF, Houston Poetry and Arts Festival, that happened this past April, and we may have some events coming up in the summer. But most importantly, we want to service the Houston writing area just as we did as Write Space, and it continues to be my honor to be a part of that. But that's not about me. I'm here to read my work with y'all. But first I would like to say thank you to Kwong for inviting me out. I saw him at Imprint House last night, and I was sort of a last-minute addition to the lineup today, but it is my honor to not only be at a public poetry reading for the first time, but to be reading in front of all of you today. Secondly, happy Pride Month. In a time where queer people are having their voices and their rights threatened to be silenced and or taken away, it is now more important than ever that people like me are in front of you today to read. And therefore, I like to share some of my work with you. A bit of context, I a few years ago, came across a couple postcards that really inspired some short-term microfiction from me, and I haven't read them in a while. They're some of the more vulnerable things that I've ever written, so I hope you like them. The first one is called When the Moon Sets. We often think of how the sun sets on the ocean every day, but not how the moon does the same. It's a shame, given how often we're sad at night, and yet we miss the moment the mother of those feelings kisses the earth, before she gives way to something considered more dominating. I admire how the moon is content letting the sun garner glory. There is power in release and expectation in status. When I visit dark beaches and let myself cry, I find unfamiliar comfort in the rays of her gaze. They're warm, like pressing a warm water bottle to your skin. In the light, I have to be everything I've designated myself to be: a lover, a fighter, a human. But when the moon sets, in the hours she sinks into the ocean, I release. I become fluid, and in that, I'm whole again. Thank you. Next is The First Satellite. There's a romance to the setting sun that feels both foreign and familiar, but what continues to confuse me is its everlasting glow. I think of my ancestors, how they viewed the great fireball kiss the earth every evening and witness it be reborn every morning. Some thought of it as a god, others see it as a promise. I can't tell you of the lives of others, of what they put out into the world while gazed upon by sun rays, but I can tell you this. We're in your car going down the highway after spending money we don't have on things that we want. From the passenger seat, I see the bleeding light of the afternoon embrace your eyes. The glow blocks them out, it cuts through the dulling shadows and invites me to lean in. It's as if it knows I can't stop staring at them. They're my favorite part of you, and I didn't even know it until then. This is how I'll remember us. I'm a glutton for time, I can never have enough of it, and I won't ever get enough. Sometimes, I feel like my body is an oven, and my insides are destined to be forever gooey, like a freshly baked chocolate chip cookie. That can be a scary thought, but I see it this way. I never recoiled at the taste of one of my mother's homemade cookies. I let their softness warm me, I let it complete me. Another day, we're stuck in traffic, and the rumble is putting you to sleep. You cuddle my arm, and it eventually goes limp. I'm scared to wake you, so I first focus on the path ahead, then on the fuzzy sensation overtaking me. In the time I'm between worlds, I know the softness of this life innately. I pick a phrase out of the light and repeat it to myself over and over until we are home. You deserve to rest as much as possible. You deserve to rest as much as possible. How am I doing on time? Do I got time for one more? Okay. Last, I'll do the spotless mind. I don't like to close my eyes when I hug others. The field of flowers planted in my mind is too alluring. It's easy to visit, and the yellow and pink petals want to serve me warm milk and ask me to stay a while. They ask me to sit at the table they set for me and watch the stream flow smoothly. When I'm not there, I'm standing outside my apartment that's too indicative of first apartment syndrome. It's dark, so I have to imagine what my hand in your hair looks like, even though I've seen it there before. I have my other hand on your back, and I'm scratching the fabric of your sweater. Our necks are cupped with one another like a parent comforting an infant. I imagine your eyes are closed, but I'm staring at the dimly lit church across the street. Last week, a woman drove up to us after I kissed you and gave me a pamphlet with the Word of God. Another month, I was preached to in a place I never knew I would be. This world's failings of me are repetitive. They're rectified in statues laid out across my flower field. Sometimes, I pray they grow moss or weeds crack through their faces, but they are stubborn. I understand why I planted those seeds all those years ago. It was the easiest thing I've ever had to do when I had nothing to tell me things could be better beyond the horizon. Even if I have it now, it's made it harder to take others by the hand and lead them there. If I do, I relinquish the privilege of loneliness and the comfort of solitude. Yet, I imagine building a tub big enough for us two and running a hot bath. I could soak and mouth confessions into the air until I'm ready to tell them to you. One of them is that the words never fall on the page the same way. It makes me think telling a story is easy, but being a storyteller is impossible. Another is that things exist as perfectly comfortable here. To trade it for something uncertain, but potentially equally rewarding, is an act of sacrifice I'll never be sure I'm ready for. I forever wonder if it's best to let the water cool before I leave this place. I would ask you to hold me, but you already are. I open my eyes, my thumbs count the strands of your hair. Here is a truth I learned over and over. This is all real. Thank you so much.
Elevate this banner a little more. I was like, something seems off. And when are Houston Writing Central open mics again?
They are the third Friday of each month. For example, the one that's happening in June will be on the 19th.
Yes, right on Juneteenth, yes?
Correct.
And so at Brazos bookstore, please come out to support Sean and Caelan's work as they continue to promote artists throughout the community. And so with that, speaking of promoting artists in the community, I want to, salutations, hey, now invite Colin James Sturdevant, a poet and writer living in the melting pot city that is Houston, Texas. He founded Pass the Salt Press, a non-profit literary arts org and small press in Houston, Texas. His work has appeared in Crab Creek Review, Blue Stem Magazine, The Bayou Review, Peach Fuzz Magazine, and Mid-South Sonnets. He is an MFA in creative writing, a poetry candidate at the Low Residency Program at Western Colorado University. May I present Colin? Now, I don't know when this became a theme, but I realized that you too host events and poetry readings and rarely get to read your work. Not intentional, sometimes these things happen.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Colin has so many initiatives in the city of Houston to support emerging and young poets that I feel humbled to be in your presence. I really do. And so, before you read, could you talk about your work with Pass the Salt Press and an anthology series that I really love, which is Unbroken Wheat?
Sure.
So just those two things, because I know you have 5 projects going on.
First of all, thank you for having me, Public Poetry, and thank you for everyone for being here today. So Pass the Salt Press is a fever dream that's rolling through, but its most important project is the Unbroken Wheat project, where I and a few interns will go work with homeless youth in Montrose. We pay them $10 per poem that they generate, and then we publish it in an anthology that will hopefully sell to keep the project going. The youth are 13 to 24, LGBTQ and BIPOC as well. So thanks for letting me have the space to talk about that. But it's really awesome when these youth that have nothing really going for them, they light up when they find out they get paid to write a poem and they get published. It's really awesome. So I am gonna read some poems. I'm watering them down. As in respect to HPL and people here. So this is a title poem from my current manuscript called A Myth I Pulled Out of Her Throat. I pulled a body from her mouth, my mother's, my own body, so it appeared, like the German word for dream, Traum, like a song, red wire or fiber, that mapped my way into what could have been a forest without songbirds, her body. How I ended up there, I don't know. Yet I could have sworn I heard her in all that black. What a labyrinth I thought her life. I don't want to lose myself in the dry translation that is her tongue. How I nearly thought the monster here in the dark really was her, not me. After all, in all that black coated wool, that red song, those eternal nights of her drunk, the constant jab until the pierce. I miss our youth before such tragedy, when she didn't cast a shadow. I remember when she left me at school in pre-kindergarten, a plate of scrambled eggs crowned with foil, steam rising from the food as I lifted it up, the catsup, red like a song. A cold winter morning at age 4, when she said it would soon be time to pick me up from the playground. Before I would realize, it was just a myth I pulled out of her throat. And this is a poem dedicated to my stepmom who can't be here today. She had a stroke about 2 years ago, and she's on the fence of hospice, so this is for her. Stepmother River runs. Lorena is pending possible hospice 2026. Lorena, you're drying up like a well, a creek, the last gulp, a ghost town. You're sickly, my stepmother who once stood at 6'2", now waning. You are not the moon. But the moon, because my mother, with whatever light she had, abandoned the city when I turned 21, pulled up her roots, leaving my sister and I behind. There's a slight sound, like when a kettle turns up heat through its body, a slight whisper over a hiss, a susurrus really. When you speak or sleep, children's sock-cloth feet patter, ballet dancers twirl sans orchestra music, the exact moment when rain hits petals on a black bough. Now, 2 years after your stroke and spinal damage, you run, not on your legs and feet, but like a river. You keep going like a children's story I remember, like the trains in the night that wail when the city sleeps, and wherever they are headed or destined to keep going, just like them, you still keep going. And this is the last of this set. I did pull a few poems that were just a bit too not okay for the occasion. So I'm going to end up with this dissolving triptych that you use blackout, where the speaker has trauma and you revert that trauma and you overcome it in the final stanza. It's a repeating stanza. Smooth boy unsmoothed. For Danessa Audrey Ruiz. She took and took as a bee coat does to a flower, pulled off each bit of golden dust. The velvet from my antlers, gnashed bit by bit for the red of her lips. Not $1 left to my name, not even left with a kiss. She took a bee coat, a flower, pricked off each bit of gold, the velvet from my antlers for the red of her lips. Not $1 left to my name, not even a kiss. She took a flower, gold, my antlers shed her name. Thank you.
For this next intro, I will dare ask our newsletter editor, who is going to also, I think, mention that you should sign up for the newsletter, yes? And she will be introducing our next reader, Gracie Presley.
Thank you, Kwong. Once again, my name is Gracie Presley. If you've ever received a piece of email from Public Poetry in the last year and a half, that has most likely been from me. Generally, the newsletter is marketing speech, but very recently I've tried to change it to very serious literary advice. And if anyone has any fantastic advice for me, I would gladly accept that. But we are not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about Kaviya Dhir, the 2026 Houston Youth Poet Laureate and proud Houstonian. True to her namesake, Kaviya originates from the Sanskrit word for poetry. A 2025 commended foil young poet, Kaviya first discovered her love for poetry in the classrooms of writers in the schools and J. Mark Price's workshop. Her work reflects her family's rich background and experiences spanning the regions of South America to South Asia, as well as her passion for community service and the commonality of human evolution. She is an alumna of the Android Journal Summer Membership Program, the Kenyon Review Young Writers Workshop, and the Juniper Institute for Young Writers. Her work has appeared in Columbia Journal, the Oxonian Review, and Wilderness, and elsewhere. Please welcome. Kwong has such wonderful words for everyone here, but it was wonderful to meet you earlier, and I read some of your work while I believed I had so much time to drive here until it was pouring rain, and I was really drawn to how you're always connecting nature to your family. And I used to describe poetry as this rotating spit in my mind, that just this rotating theme that will stay in me until I escape it. What about nature and specifically its connection to your family and its unit keeps drawing you back to those themes?
I guess it's the thing that like nature's always evolving, and my connections with my family are always evolving as well. And it's something that, you know, I won't always know everything about Mother Nature, but I'm happy with what I do know. So today I wanted to share a few poems that I've written during my tenure, because I've gotten so many cool opportunities to collaborate, you know, kind of cross medium wise. And the first poem I wanted to share is a poem I wrote following a play called That Drive Through Monterey, which debuted at Stages here in Houston. And just a little context on That Drive Through Monterey. It's the story of a Mexican-American woman in 1971 Los Angeles as she experiences a first nerdy love. Throughout the courtship, she experiences mysterious premonitions of what lies ahead in her life and how the ever-present machismo, or like a word for toxic masculinity, will ultimately bring her heartbreak as it gets passed down from fathers to sons, generation to generation. So I was asked to write a poem following this. Encore. In 1971, her father's wound filled with the stubs of glow kids, bristling in fine salguero needles. She dried Maximiliano's marigolds neatly in mason jars before submerging them in alcohol, encasing her father's machismo. His blood still carried the scent of the clay that molded the Mexican-American lineage they shared. With tweezers, she peeled back the skin to reveal its stars, created a rhythm of extraction, the sapphire rain falling in crescents until she stopped. Before stitching the skin, she turned towards the audience. I heard myself echoing in each pin as it landed, liberated, in the dish, but then I saw myself too. Every time I uncap a Coke, every time my mother inspects her archipelago of sunspots under magnification, I remember how, as a girl, she was uprooted from Brazil, 8 years old, sent to Maine, left for the sun's glimmering peach to soften her skin until it honeyed. From the audience, I watched the glow kids, so stupid and stubby, tattooing themselves into her family's pedigree, the legacy Maximiliano left behind after he was drafted, under comatose, dropped wordlessly into the ground, etching inheritance in the wind-blown sand, left to chance in the day's Punnett Square. In my own revolution, I extracted glow kids with my bare hands to coat them in scents I carry, cauliflower curried, sacred bowls of ruby kumakuma. In the place of the ghostly machismo, the cool grease of my hair after a shift at Mammoth's condensates into droplets on the bell above the door, welcoming all who enter, which rain or shine still bears my name. And then the next poem I'll be reading is one that I wrote. I recently graduated from high school, and I haven't really had the chance to sort of write down what I'm feeling, about the future and sort of the anticipatory anxiety that comes with transitioning and moving into college life. So this is called New Mirror. Tomorrow, the mirror contorting my patriotic school pleats will shatter, just in time for my new beginning to appear. Before my graduation ceremony, I lower my body into an ice bath, watch my skin whiten beneath the surface. Every surface in the room reflects in the mirror, my present refracting as dusk fans my cap's tassel. I smile sheepishly into the night, mapping my mapo tofu into stars as chilies and vermilion rivers lead me from the frayed ends of my chopsticks into my new future, threading my anthropologic lust for adventure. In my glass, ice clinks shadows across my vitiligo, stray grains of jasmine rice etching stubborn outlines into my mud and pearl sand. My body begins orbiting a new moon. Am I orbiting the past or the present? The future remains a mind I cannot catch, even as Sichuan clings to the roof of my mouth, to sweetly ground me, to leave me with hollowed cheeks. Later, in the mirror, at the back of the restaurant, I surprise myself with my face, soured by prophecy. From her necklace, the waiter pulls jade to offer to me in sugar cubes for my dessert tea. Nestled at the bottom of the cup, the cubes spend hours hardening. They ripple beneath my reflection, clinking against that marble cup. Thank you.
And now a few remarks to stall while anyone else wants to join for the open mic sign up, which is right on the table. I had the honor of meeting you first when you auditioned for the position of Houston Youth Poet Laureate. And when we all heard your poem, I was sitting right across from Professor Kevin Proofer, and I did not know what is the best way of asking you this. So I said, so have you considered U of H's creative writing program? And that was my way of saying, I hope you stay in Houston and continue to benefit the community. And fortunately, a little birdie told me that you will be at Rice. So you'll be right down the street, but you'll be in Houston regardless. Poor Professor Kevin Proofer. On the table, you'll also find information about one of the initiatives that we are helping to promote, which is From the Bayou We Speak. It is a multilingual project for ESL students who are writing poetry in Mandarin, Vietnamese, and Spanish. And they will be showcasing their work next year. If you know of any ESL students or anyone whose heritage languages are Spanish, Vietnamese, Mandarin, please let them know about this initiative. Colin is also leading a translation workshop. Which day again, Colin?
It's being pushed back to July.
Okay, in July, that's plenty of time. I had a chance to glean the book, the translator's book that you are going to be using, and it seems like a remarkable resource. And you are providing copies for those who are signing up for. Yeah. Could you tell me the name of the book again?
Yeah, it's The Philosophy of Translation by Daniel Searles, 2024 through Yale Press.
It's a wonderful, wonderful book from my initial brief cursory glance. And next Saturday, you're also having the bar and drink series at Drop of the Creator, where we can read poems that might be a bit more of a sensitive nature. But that is in partnership with Mud Snake magazine. That is coming up. Hopefully everyone there is doing okay. There's so many announcements, but it's very exciting, so I will take time to read them, and towards the end I will mention briefly again, and that is it will be a very busy summer for public poetry, so start marking your calendars now. Public Poetry will be collaborating with the Museum of Fine Arts Houston to showcase the Summer Writers Remix series, in which poets will be performing either their original or commissioned poems to accompany a museum exhibition. The first reading will be Thursday, June 25th at 6:30 p.m. for the permanent exhibition Material Presence. and it will feature Joshua Burton, Karen Chang, Hyan Charara at U of H, and our very own Gracie Presley. So I'm very happy to announce that. The second reading will be Friday, July 10th, also 6:30 p.m. for the upcoming exhibition Hugh Locke Passages, a Guyanan British artist who uses found art to kind of talk about post-colonialism, about identity and such. And the featured poets will be Chan Krishna T, Mihal Mubarak, Dedrick Hughes, and some other bespectacled guy. I don't know. Anyway, but please follow the MFAH for more detail. Public Poetry's own monthly reading series will be back online Saturday, July 11th and August 1st. Then in person Saturday, September 12th at Stella Link Library. And this is for everyone here. Open submissions for Public Poetry's 2026 anthology, Witness, will open this Monday, June 7th. Please subscribe to the newsletter through publicpoetry.org, scan the QR code, follow us on Facebook, Instagram for further reminders. But the anthology Witness is to be present, to truly see, and to carry what we've seen. It is one of the most profound acts of human connection. The theme invites exploration of attention and observation, testimony, and memory, the intimacy of being seen, and the weight of seeing others. To see recent examples of Public Poetry's annual anthology, we have copies of Unbroken available for sale through Pen and Leaf Press, and I will briefly mention some of those afterwards. Again, and now I think everyone has signed up, so I would like to invite our first open mic participant, Rebecca Oxley.
Hi, it's great to be here. I haven't read public poetry in a really long time. I am going to read a poem, and it's going to be in honor of Pride Month. So if that is a problem, I'm letting you know now. Western narrative. 2 days before your departure, you asked me to join you in your hunt for a cowboy hat, so I willingly walk into Cavender's Boot City, down the feeder from the dealership that used to be Astro World, across the freeway from the dome moldering near the stadium named after a power company where the Texans' losses foreshadow the descent our destination represents. With its shells and shells of overpriced boots, its racks of mother of pearl buttoned and embroidered shirts, all the gear worn by the gallant cowboys my South Carolinian stepfather loved to watch back in the days when the TV remote was a child's sticky fingers. You knew it already when you asked me to go. Last night we drank pricey glasses of Malbec at a wine bar and talked about our dubious Western pasts. I told you my dead daddy's father always wore a pristine hat on Sundays and another frayed and sweat-stained for working his small herd of cattle. You laughed, told me that your grandpa's church hat was a spotless gray felt. You reminisced about how your mother had dressed you for church in ironed shirts and jeans, shined boots, a crisp felt hat for church, that by the time you were a teenager, your parents didn't want to show you off anymore. Their queer, nerdy son who read Howl and only wore Western as camp. And sure enough, in that store, You try on the perfect black shirt with white stitching and pearl buttons half tucked into your never outmoded on you skinny jeans, and a pair of tan shit kickers catch your eyes from beneath the broad brim of a creamy straw hat, tilt your head and giggle. You egg me on to try a pair of $1,000 shining ruby Lucchese's that pinch my toes as I slide around the store with your jaunty butt, snaking a ragged cotton-eyed Joe through the racks of pricey, hackneyed culture. The manager in his alligator boots scowls at your sassy panache while I try to emulate your audacity, laughing in the face of the terrible looks so powerful on you. Thank you.
Thank you for that. It was lovely. May I invite Randy?
Hi, I'm Randy, and I'd like to write a piece that I wrote as part of a workshop done with the library. Stay. Ode to a fire ant. You latch onto my skin, microscopic jaws of life. Like a clock's hour hand, you spin, injecting sharp venom into my bloodstream, pulse-piercing pain. You burn flames into my skin. Your poison tracks up my veins, crimson highlight welts. A map of the underground, train's last stop, my heart. Only a Benadryl can save me now. I pinch you between my ridged fingertips and crush you into a ball, flick you away like the booger you are. I flee before your friends smell your silent scent and fled from the earth, marching one by one. I flee before they bite me and take me down 6 feet underground, bite by bite, below the sand and loam to feed your queen, my peasant flesh.
Thank you so much, and I hope you'll come back and join us in September when we're at Stella Link in person. And now, earlier you were using the word queen, and I once heard that the next open mic participant receives from the slam and performance community the title of the Queen Mother of Poetry. May I invite the Marie Brown?
Okay, can I borrow somebody's reading glasses? That big old purse and backpack, and I forgot my reading glasses. Got your reading glasses with you? Oh, God. Okay. Well, maybe, can I borrow anybody's glasses? Just, I don't care if they're prescribed or not. I'm going to just win for it, because right now, you're in the near side. Okay, yeah. I'm so sorry. I was looking for them and I said, I can't believe I brought all this junk with me. Oh. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. And this is a true story. Actually, it was CT and myself. This was printed in the Unbroken, a public poetry anthology in 2025. And let me give the correct honors to Mr. Hughes, Dietrich Hughes. Yes. And so here goes. About last night, a colleague and I were traveling after 10 p.m. in the heart of 3rd Ward when we were stopped by a Houston police officer. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, Sonia Massey's faces flashed across the windshield of the car, holding their hands up while their bodies swayed from side to side. The officer asked for my driver's license and registration. My colleague immediately reached in the compartment and retrieved the registration, along with other items like candy wrappers, grocery receipts, and sticky notes to self. I saw Philando Castile's face looking at me from the passenger's side window. I asked the officer, "Why did you stop me?" I quickly thought, maybe I should not have asked that question. I fumbled through my purse, finding everything but my driver's license, my Texas Southern University ID, my library card, photos of my grandchildren, wondering if I will live to see them again, wondering if one wrong move and I will no longer grace this earth, and one day haunt as a shadow across someone else's windshield. The officer said, "Your front light is out on the driver's side. See? Come look." My colleague and I both looked at each other and said, "No, that's okay." As we saw an image of Walter Scott running, the officer was polite and respectful. However, we should not have to feel this way at any time, at any place. Because if we do not tell our stories, we will fuel the fire that will burn us alive. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Marie. I think it would speak for itself. I don't think any commentary is necessary. It will be improper. But for the next person, I would like to, again, I cannot convince you guys to go to the museum series unless you hear one of her poems. So can I invite Gracie Presley here to read one of her poems and convince you to go to the museum series?
I'm sorry you have to see me twice. I was planning on reading this. It's a very different piece than what I normally write. So if you hate it, you should come to the reading. And if you like it, you should also come to the reading. But it's titled, I also love this poem because it makes me seem like a terrible person. And for all of you who don't know me, I just need to preface, I'm really not like this. This is called At a Poetry Reading. This girl keeps kicking my chair. Without sense or rhythm, I vibrate to her eclectic beating. Her laugh is light and lilting and happening at the wrong time in the poem. I shift up in my seat. God, I need to pee. But the next poet is already speaking. They are part of the Asian diaspora. Their story is so different to mine, yet I will still compare myself to them. Leaning forward like this is making me need to pee more, so I slide back. There's a sudden pressure against my spine. This girl's feet are perched in my chair. She recedes quickly with a sharp clack of her booted heel. I want to turn around and assert, this is my chair. Except I realize I forgot to times by 2 after moving the decimal, so I only tipped 10%, and people who tip 10% aren't allowed to demand things. I fold my arms and catch a line about languid liquidity and the gasp of sunlight as its golden crest sinks below the horizon. I think I could have written that, so I note it away to steal later. You tap my shoulder and say, you have to leave early. I think, oh good, I'll sneak out with you and go pee. But you tell me to stay and mingle. I will not be doing that. I don't meet people well, but I really could have written that last line. You sneak out the back door, and I am now left with the girl who is now humming performatively, who hums at the title. Soon we're clapping, and that was actually a great line. I run to the bathroom where I pee out $22 of my $15 an hour paycheck. Someone scribbled in Sharpie, "Art is graffiti in a bathroom stall." This is undercut by the penis drawn below it. In school, we called these Mickey Mouses with their 3 looped circles. I return and the room starts clapping. In the doorway, I exchange a glance with Asian diaspora, a knowing look between who's the better poet. Thank you so much for laughing at that. I really, really appreciate it. I would love to welcome our next poet, Zinnia Garrett.
This piece is called Pointillism. I was not feeling like myself, so I stepped back and looked at all the little things that make up me and thought about my recipe. Are we really so different from one another? Do we not breathe the same air, drink the same water? Do our hearts not beat in sync? The human race is quite peculiar in how it sees itself. Some people we decide are better than others. Some people decide that hate will balance the scales. Justice is blind, but she must keep an eye on that sword. I fear she'll chop off her own head. I fear we'll elect a guillotine for president and not even notice. I fear we will call a noose a new god, and public executions will be like prayers. I fear we'll be forced to fight a war we never asked for. We're hunting each other for sport. 2 more seized from the streets today, families severed and split. I heard their captors had hearts of ice, frozen over, cold-blooded. Is this safety? Is this protection? We're putting skulls on the wall like magnets on fridge, colorful plastic letters spelling the future, but none of us were ever taught to read in the land of the free. They're wringing the necks of our liberty in the home of the brave. If they were digging a new grave, so who can save our necks? Only us. I'm just trying to keep my head screwed tightly. We are all just trying to keep our heads on. Speak up. Put your pen to paper. Put your words to work. We must become one. This is pointillism. We can make something beautiful together. I wasn't feeling like myself and realized those cutthroats can never take my voice away. No one can ever take our voices away. Thank you.
Thank you so much for performing that. I really appreciate it. I think you had read your first poem out loud ever with us, and so I really appreciate you coming back and reading more with us. Thank you. I'd like to welcome our next poet, Sophia Emily.
Hello. I have something new. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this will be my first time performing it. So, who am I that you would call me a daughter? From the orphanage door, we were no one's chosen people. Though descendants of vagabonds and whores, still the Son of God descended down into hell for you and me. Oh God, be with us. And so here we are, joint heirs with Jesus, a freedom so sweet we forgot the bitter taste of blood in our mouths, washed away all memory of the wasteland we once called home. cleansed of any care to those decimated by genocide and disease and hunger. O God, be with us. As if we aren't also begging for shelter from our own destitution, as if the bullets can't reach us from this side of the river, as if we too haven't been pounding on the gates of Eden lest the fire eats us alive. O God, be with us. As if the corpses of our brothers and sisters laid to rest day after day, ashen and bloody, are not our own flesh and bone, and the children counted among the dead could not be our own sons and daughters. O God, be with us. Atoms to atoms, stardust to stardust, we rise and fall together. Yet here at the bottom of this diamond basket, the children of God are suffocating. And still I feel his gaze on me, his breath in the trees and down my back. He asks, what are these weapons you have forged against me? O God, be with us. And I have no words that could possibly answer him. No justification thick enough to pull over my eyes and veil myself from this hellfire, because here, in this song of songs, the children of God are dying under the rubble, crying for our Father to be with us. Oh God, be with us. Oh God, be with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rena. I love the imagery of a basket of diamonds. I think that is very, very, very clever. I would love to welcome our next poet, CT.
Wow, a little overlap with these stories. That was a true story of Marie Brown, and I'd forgotten about that incident. And I didn't know she was going to do that poem. I didn't know she even written a poem about that. So maybe this is a little bit that was going on my mind when this happened, but I didn't know she was going to do this. I had planned to read this and not knowing that she even wrote that. And then there's some overlap with I think some of the other things that have been said here too. So I think the police did stop us on a street called Emancipation, and it was Dowling Street back in the day. And so here we go. Fresh blood streams down the then Dowling Street to today's Emancipation Boulevard. Elders tell their stories of the events of that day, yet we from young to old and in between have eyes to see the lines from the vantage point of time's peak, atop the mound of connecting activities, to see behind the facade into the heart of the present day reality. The pimps who believe in enslavement of women's reproductive organs, hence enslavement of a community's reproductive capacity. Not only street pimps, but corporate, celebrity, fraternal pimps, who all believe women are flesh commodity as in love for sale to the highest bidder. Are the pushers who profit from the destruction of our health, not only street pushers, but are most Americans over 40 on some drug, high blood pressure meds, to diabetes, to weight loss, to lines of cocaine to keep the hyper-competitive up in their high-pressure jobs. Are the preachers who believe in free will is limited to how much you will pay, as they're the only ones with anything to say? Are the police who patrol the neighborhoods, some kindred with those who wear white hoods, no humanity they see? Is it because of their own rage-filled insanity? And their unifying principle that you must be better than your brother or sister, and $1 an hour more makes your brother the other. Unless a call to duty, united to kill anyone who disagrees with how things are done. What does it mean whether you lose or win in global military conflict, when set to kill the other, and when you return, are you the new other, or have you always been the other? When quietly, lethal like slit wrists, you cannot stop losing blood, losing freedom, losing a fair chance to work in a meaningful job. Look, we've been robbed. Notions of brotherhood killed on the military fields, betrayed for whom we toil. Notions of brotherhood silenced on the streets, assassins target, though we supposed to live in peace. And the song blared, what about the babies? Who's keeping them from harm? And we said we're a community. We will raise our children collectively in unity. And a national news segment says elders need help, and we said we are a community. We open free health clinics. We share according to our abilities. We are rewarded according to our needs. We grow. While the pimps say love for sale and the media says, come get you some. While the pushers say, I got you some. The police say, who's going to jail? But a preacher was drawing crowds by letting folks have their say. Need more than an assassin's bullet to slay everyone's ideas, and to slay our love, and to slay our working ways. Soul poets tell us a story, sing us a song, form us a poem, as a community is reborn from what is torn. And there's a number of things going on in my head on this. Maybe even kind of forgot most of them. But we have a poetry reading tomorrow too. If anybody wants to know, because it's called At Class Bookstore, and it kind of lines up sometimes the way the month is. I think the reading last night today, so it's a fun time. And yeah, I think I do remember, because it's kind of juxtaposed with some of the themes here as to why, public speech is really important to share these stories. And when you told that story, I kind of remember some of the things actually what was going on in my mind. This was kind of some of it. Okay, all right.
I think Kwong said it best when there's nothing more to add. That is the period of the incidents, and that was incredible. I would love to welcome up Samir Arya.
Hello. This brief poem is called Curiosity. All right. It is not purpose who yanks the covers from my body to shock me once again into the exciting shiver of living. No, he is never broad enough. I simply arrive because I want to see. I want to see what grief does next, whether the empty rooms within souls change their shape, whether the mockingbird outside my window will learn a new sound, or whether it will rain. Curiosity jumps on my bed, rattling my bones awake like wind chimes in a necessary squall.
I have a note on here that says, invite Kaviya back. So I would love to invite Kaviya back to read whenever you're ready.
Again, thank you so much to Public Poetry for hosting this wonderful event. I've loved hearing everyone's poetry, amidst all the rain that's pouring. It's very calming. This next poem I'll be reading is titled Elegy for the First Daughter, and it's a poem that I wrote for an event at Discovery Green during Women's History Month, and it was inspired by my friend at school who was a victim of several targeted social media posts. And the reason I chose to share her story for that event is I was not only sort of sharing it for her because she was not able to, but instead of feeling like the one who was powerless in that situation, she ended up being the one who had the power over the account maker, and she felt sort of empowered by the moment. Sorry. Okay. Oh, and one more thing. You'll hear me say two pseudonyms a lot. One of them is Timekeeper, and that is the meaning of the count maker's name. And then I'll be using First Daughter, and that is the meaning of my friend's name. Elegy for the First Daughter. Once the timekeeper logs in and shatters Instagram's clock, the minutes dwindle back down to seconds. In calculus class, a boy cuffs my ear to whisper fragments of what the timekeeper said to the girl whose name stems from the fact that she was her mother's first daughter. She has been my friend for years, since the year the boys held garden slugs between their teeth and one swallowed on a dare and Instagram ignited. Between the teeth of the boy cuffing my ear in calculus class, rumors simmer. Soon they crowd the room, lathering dark plum shadows along the walls. Once the timekeeper collapsed time into another secret, the first daughter encased herself in gold and let her body slowly fill with fuchsia sand. She scrubbed her scars expressionless. They glittered, for those who knew where to look. Then the clock reset on grief, once my whole calculus class sharpened their tears into graphite shavings and left tracks across their khaki laps. Then the timekeeper reloaded, secrets sparkling into his fingertips, and we tapped and we tapped and we sent. Behind blue light, he held the trigger of his gun fluorescent and steady. Now the timekeeper plays pong with his friends, their worn-out feelings floating in red solo cups, hoping to drift to the bottom, eventually. But they never will. Instead, the timekeeper pretends to drink until he's ready to vomit or sleep, and the first daughter slaps a star of blood onto his back, pretending not to see exactly who did it. And yet the first daughter survives. The first daughter drenches her braids in the porch's moon dust, where music slims into a crescent of sound. At school, she scours the hallway tile, stamping pride into acrylic nails, bedazzling the hurt on her hands that tether her to the stars. From above, she watches. She watches as the timekeeper types and types until the clock strikes 12. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Genuinely, thank you. I would love to welcome back up Colin.
All right. Another mom poem. Oh boy. I knew then to flee is prayer. 1. My mother's prayer is the night, an ellipsis that holds. She kissed my cheek, held me sacred. My mother, I recall, her drunken stare a vacuum, wine on her breath, blood sweetened, turned, soluble and set on tables, and she declared, we are machines. 2. Like a prophecy, I pulled in the scent of tobacco that always was there when she was beyond reaching. Too high to touch, to burn if I tried, not with the orange glow made faint on skin like some children, but her hand that would grab mine, let go, and tell me how ugly and poor I would be. Teachers don't make enough, she taught me. 3. Like a prophet, she was right. I, not wanting to be limited, not wanting her to anoint me with her own insecurities, me wanting more, hungering for less honest love. Running from the house, my back to my mother, inside, to her, to family, to the machines. Political in their clothes and their airs, but when I tremble at the God I made dead, her, she the machine. Too cold to feel the dirt beneath my feet. Thank you. Do I have time to read 2 more, or is this part of the open mic? Or is that okay? Okay, all right. This is gonna be really short. Soothsayer. I won't make poetry. I won't make poetry out of poetry, or out of dirty water, or fragmented colored glass. I will make a soothing balm to apply after a tooth is twisted harshly from the root, and then my mouth will sing. And this is the last one. It's after Nina Simone's Sinnerman and inspired by Shane McRae and Jericho Brown. Hedonistic devotion on a Sunday morning. Lord, break me, a dance that knows nothing. Lord, swallow my body, the breeze that erodes. Lord, keep me inside, as if my name was Jonah. The pillar knot of salt melts, and I yoke unto the mess that is my life. To pray for radiance, to ask for you, O Lord, fill my mouth to overflow. Copious amounts of water, how I wish, O Lord, to kick up grief from my uttering chest. Lift me in my soft bones, anoint me a spruce that lifts a body, for reckoning, for salvation, for providence, to jump, O Lord. What joys we will all soon know, listening to Nina Simone about past and future tribulations, beyond transgressions and transmissions, those keys, O Lord. Keep my tongue intact, hide me, rock. I said, I need you, Lord, like my city that sleeps, always forgetting the sea. In the boiling we run to pray, cometh devil, to this table, to wait, and the sun bakes rain off cement, calculations of misspent procured power. O Lord, other nations are being gutted, and I just play, intake sacrament of another kind. And ye said, where were you when praying on flesh, rejecting the pulpit on a Sunday? O Lord, how while I hold down this guilt, this gate, these bones that harden, for you, O Lord, thank you.
Thank you again. Colin always has such incredible linguistic ability to describe how great that was, but I really loved that. Please invite our final reader for today, Caelan.
Thank you so much again to Public Poetry for having me, and I am honored to be in the presence of so many great writers, both featured and open mic alike. Y'all inspire me every time I get to hear you read, seriously. I'm going to read a few selections from an afternoon that I spent at the Manil Collection, viewing some of the paintings and writing a few lines that came to me from them. The first is from a painting by Max Ernst called In Praise of Freedom. Dual suns on a white body, brown walls extending as far as the eye can see. There's trees somewhere out there, but I doubt I'll ever see them. Next is an untitled that goes, there's a bone ornament tucked in the corner. I wonder why it needs to be alone. Silly polar bear human, don't you know there's an entire world out there? I speed walk through the rooms of portraits and statues depicting our past. Their stares make me nervous and follow me after I leave. So I sit between atriums of paneled plants and think about which part of me is missing. And last, I'm gonna do one that I find funny. It's called it's by Joseph Kossuth, I hope I'm saying that right. Titled, in parentheses, art as idea, in parentheses, meaning. There's an art piece with a definition of meaning copied onto it. What a batch of horseshit. That's not art. Thank you.
I love it when poetry ends with a bit of humor. Thank you for that. As always, my sincerest appreciation to our featured readers, to those who participate in open mic. We have a tradition of after readings. We have something called After Words, WORDS, right? And we're gonna have it at the Gypsy Poet, very pizza place, right? Sort of down the street, on 2404 Austin Street. So join us there. We'll sit. We'll pretend to be like bohemians, and we'll laugh very condescendingly together. That was a bit French. But anyway, so once again, Past the Salt Press has some wonderful opportunities coming up. Next week there is a reading series at Drop of the Creative Brewery. Women owned, right?
It's a women-owned distillery and brewery.
Mhm.
It is family-friendly. However, the reading, I don't know about that.
Oh well, yeah, you know.
Yeah. Don't advertise that all.
It's outside the jurisdiction of Houston Public Library. Sorry, Justin. We also have information about the upcoming readings at the museum. That way we can highlight the exhibits, both the permanent exhibit and Hugh Locke. There's information about From the Bayou We Speak, and as always, there is information about the newsletter. And before we go, featured poets, can we get a photo together? And then audience join us. Thank you.
That's all together. Maybe more center. Kwame, take one step this way.
This way?
This way.
Okay.
Then we can follow him just one step up. There we go. Yes, there we go. Awesome. Okay. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Let me do one more. 3, 2, 1. And last one. Awesome.
Polaroid.
This one gets me every time. It's like a little this way, or is it?
To the right.
To the right. Okay.
Okay. Did you turn it on?
No. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Same thing. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Brandon. Audience, join us.
Do you want to do the or do you want to go first?
Oh, let's up because the lights that
Yeah.
way, right? Okay. Join us, audience. Come on, everybody, come on up.
I'm not sure if I got blocked on this thing, but it was up there. So through that.
Can you see everyone?
I'm gonna do my best. Let's see.
Okay.
We'll turn sideways. We'll turn sideways. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We can make this work. Let me see. Let's shorten it a little bit. Like get some people coming this way, so we'll be
Okay,
standing
okay.
in front of each other. So let's do saying, you're saying like you're the tallest in the back, and you can.
Sandra, would you like to join me since we're both vertically challenged?
If you want to come, you can come towards the podium too. That'd be easier too.
Yeah. Come towards
Yeah,
the
have some
podium.
people like towards the podium, standing right there.
I know the
Right?
pressure is a lot, but don't worry. You can Come on, go ahead.
Let's get you on this side. That's okay. Should be good. Yes, awesome. Okay, great. All right, everybody stay. Stay with you. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Okay, keep it. 3, 2, 1.